And thank you for joining us on this Sunday night. I'm Nadine Yanis. Liftoff for the historic Artemis I mission is now a little less than 10 hours away, with NASA preparing to go back to the moon's surface for the first time in 50 years. This is a live look at that SLS rocket on the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center right now, as the Artemis I mission will set up mankind's return to the lunar surface in 2025. Now, while that is still several years away, the unmanned Artemis I is just the start. Artemis II is set to carry astronauts around the moon and back in 2024, with Artemis III projected in 2025 as man's grand return to the surface. If all goes as planned, NASA intends to launch a steady stream of moon missions on about a yearly basis. Florida Tech's director of Spaceport Graduate Center, Dr. Don Platt, says this is only the beginning.
If everything goes pretty well here, then we will see humans back on the moon within the next 2 years or so, and working there and doing things. And that's going to set up future activities on the moon with more humans.
So incredibly exciting. Now, with the combination of NASA's Artemis mission as well as SpaceX's Starship missions to the moon in the coming years, human presence off our planet could expand significantly. So with that, the anticipation and excitement builds on Florida's Space Coast tonight. 240,000 people expected to pour into Cape Canaveral, including families from right here in Southwest Florida. Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders took a trip from Tallahassee to the Space Coast as final preparations continue.
You look way out there above the trees, you can just make out the Orion crew capsule. There aren't any astronauts aboard for this test flight around the moon and back, but still tens of thousands of people have turned out to see what they expect to be a historic flight. They came from all over. An estimated 240,000 staking out their spots well in advance of Monday's liftoff.
There's going to be a lot of people here, so in order to get a good spot, we needed to get here early.
Many here for a shot at seeing history.
It's a shooting star.
The Vose family coming from Fort Myers, waiting for the 10 count.
That goes in this to make it launch.
Hoping their son Douglas will witness the next generation of space flights take flight.
When he's 10, 15, 20 years old from now, and he's looking back on this, he sees that I was there. My parents took me to this.
The SLS rocket is the world's most powerful, built to eventually return to the moon and beyond. This trip just to test a more than 40-day flight around the moon and back.
Bottom line is we look really good. No issues, no concerns or constraints.
NASA officials told us Sunday morning everything's still a go, despite recent lightning strikes near the pad. Weather does remain the biggest concern. Bolts, wind, even rain alone can scrub the launch, but the latest predictions from officials give it an 80 to 60% chance of success.
Hopefully Florida comes through and we have clear mornings and stormy afternoons, and this is going up in the morning, so fingers crossed.
Many fingers are crossed up and down the Space Coast as the nation waits for ignition. The next critical step in this process will come late tonight. NASA officials will try to fuel the rocket. Again, weather permitting, it's the next hurdle that could scrub this launch ahead of Monday morning. That's the latest out here in Titusville. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
And it's not just tourists from across the state and really around the world descending on Florida's Space Coast today. Vice President Kamala Harris landed in Orlando ahead of this historic mission. She serves as the chair of the National Space Council. While here, our Fox affiliate in Orlando reports that she will deliver remarks ahead of this launch about the Artemis program and even tour the Artemis II and Artemis III mission hardware. So let's go ahead and get one more live look at the Artemis on the launch pad right now. NASA officials say that the weather is favorable for tomorrow's highly anticipated flight test. Now, if conditions hold, like Forrest said, the world's most powerful rocket will launch from Cape Canaveral. One person I know who's been watching this launch forecast very closely and about as excited as I am tonight is meteorologist Andrew Shipley. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Nadine. Yeah, like Forrest said there, it's a 80% chance of go weather-wise on the start of that launch period, which is at 8:33. Now, as it gets closer, though, to the end of the period, right around 10:33, that drops down to 60% chance of weather-wise, because what we're tracking around the Cape area is some thunderstorm activity not too far away. This is 8:30 tomorrow morning, and that would potentially push that launch back some. So they're going to be watching this in particularly for that storm activity just offshore, because one of the criteria is there precipitation or cumulus clouds or lightning within 10 nautical miles? And this is the big question mark, at least in my mind. Now, right now it's a go, but we'll have to watch that. The other thing we're watching is peak winds. Are they exceeding 29 to 39 knots there? Looking good there, the wind side. Also looking good on the temperature side, because we're warmer than 41.4 and we're cooler than 94.5 tomorrow morning. So all good there. And it looks like maybe we could see some good viewing here locally if you look off to the east, Nadine.